an important time when there is so much uncertainty out there. Now, between all the variety of views that it will get better, there will be negotiations on tariffs, India will be relatively better off, wondering which end of the spectrum you are on, because one end is also saying this is just gloom, doom, and more doom.
Yeah, I tell you, the way I look at this thing, this is a more of a negotiating tactics which Trump is playing, and we have to understand that there is no point getting paranoid about it and unnecessarily getting capitulated at the bottom of the cycle. So we are not that negative the way prices sometimes indicate. So we have to understand the difference between narrative and the reality. Okay. Now, the way I will read it, obviously the one round of announcement is done. So worst is behind us. Now, if you really sit down and analyze the statement or foresee what it talks about very clearly, this is the announcement. Once you start talking about bilateral thing, it can come down. So there are certain conditions. And if I can also say that India is one country who has already taken the lead. Okay, India was the first country to visit to US. Okay, and last week, if I'm not wrong, their delegation was very much in Delhi, and we are in advanced stage of negotiation. So I think as a country, we think we have taken right steps. Okay, and ultimately, US is a large economy, and we have to sort out whatever the challenges we are facing. I think I'm optimistic. This is the worst case scenario outcome we have seen. From here. It can only improve. So no point getting capitulated at this point in time. In fact, India actually behaved quite well as compared to global market yesterday. It showcased that India could be a hiding space as compared to what the turmoil you are seeing in the global market. And we also don't have to forget that India is a very large domestic-driven economy. So our impact will be relatively less. And I always say, look at not only an absolute basis, absolutes are important, but relatives are more important. So relative to other markets, the tariff differential, we are beneficiaries. So I think it's a great buying opportunity in a sector which you like, rather than getting too nervous about it at this point of time.
You've led me beautifully to the next point, the sector which you like. Sandeep, to hear from you that this is a time to go out and buy, this is a buying opportunity, heartening when there's so much gloom and doom out there. Would you stick to the tried and tested financials, or you see more space than sectors like auto consumption?
See, I think obviously consumption broadly is a very broad sector, is the biggest beneficiary in the budget. So consumption theme should play out very well from a longer term perspective. Then in the current environment, our focus is more from a domestic economy, large infrastructure space. Okay, if you really look at even the NBFC, given the interest rate pressure, which can come down. So I think the way you look at the domestic company, insurance sectors, so in hospitality space, even we like pharma, despite some narrative is floating around today. I think is a great sector because cost of production of generic drugs in the US will be few times what you do it out here. So far exemption we have seen, but even some tariff comes, I think Indian companies are in the position to pass immediately. So I think we have to wait and watch rather than just reacting on some interviews or some noise which is floating in the market. I think it's a great opportunity as long you have earning visibility, whether it's from the domestic perspective or from global perspective, I think, and valuations are attractive. I'll be all in such names.